Tom, just talk to us about the atmosphere in the dressing room at the minute. I know that you've had a fairly good start, and last Saturday was, I'm sure you're hoping, was just a blip.
Yeah, I think performance-wise, we started. I mean, obviously we wanted more than 3 points after 3 games, but performance-wise, we knew we deserved better than that. So the lads were full of confidence. We were quite happy with the way we were performing. But it's League Two, with League Two players, and now and again you throw in a performance like we did on Saturday. So, some weeks everybody's at it, like on Tuesday, and beat a decent Forest Green side that we could have won 4 or 5, and then go and get beat 5 by Grimsby. So, that's this league. That's the whole. Every dressing room will be the same. There'll be a team in every league that'll get stuff one week or another, and on Saturday it was a performance where we weren't really at it like we'd been in the previous games.
I know the manager's kind of changed his style and the way that Vale play towards the end of last season and this. As a centre forward, does that suit you more, having the wingers out there that are obviously putting the crosses in for you?
It does when they're on the game. I mean, like I say, the Tuesday night against Forest Green, I know I didn't play, but the midfield were in there. We were camped in there off at times, and I know fans sometimes criticise one up front, and we need 2 up front. I think that Tuesday game proved that it is a 3 when we're at it, and we've got teams on the back foot. It is a front 3 with midfielders bombing forward, and we can create a lot of chances from doing that. And then, like I say, when you're not keeping the ball like against Grimsby and you're giving the ball away cheaply, they're camped in your half, and it does look like a 1 up front. I mean, Benno has left isolated quite a bit. And that's what can happen. Like I say, it depends on the performance of the team. If the team are on the game and the wingers are causing problems, then you spend a lot more time in their half than you do your own. If you're not at it and you're giving the ball away, like I say, in the wrong areas, you spend most of the time defending your own box.
I know it'll hurt you not to be playing as well, but how do you deal with that when you're a player, and how do you feel when the team sheet gets read out and you're not on it? Because I know you're used to starting lots of games.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts. Obviously, you won't play every game. I know at my age, the gaffer tries to look after me a little bit. But I think, obviously the cup games like Burton, which is understandable. But you just won't be playing it, especially with the performances. I felt like, even though I probably missed a couple of chances, the team were performing well. And when you're having a rest and being taken out the side, you're giving the opportunity for somebody else to take your place, and that's what Benno did. Benno come on at Salford and got a goal, and then scored in the next game. So that's competition for places, but I never consider it competition really. I mean, I want the best for the team, and I always have. And Benno's somebody that always asks questions and somebody that wants to learn, and he's still raw. I mean, I know he might be 25, 26, but I see a lot of him as was in me that had come through non-league, a big striker. But I had somebody like Lee Matthews when I signed for Crewe. Lee Matthews used to always be on my case and get in my ear. And he was thinking, does he like it? Is it because I'm in the same position as him? But you realise that they're trying to help you become a better player. I mean, they can see, when they've been in the game a long time, they can see the things that you need to improve and do to get better at your job. And like I say, I had Lee Matthews, and now Benno's got, he's always asking me questions. He always wants to learn and improve. And I try and help him the best I can. And, very much like me, when I first joined the game, because you try and impress so much, you're running around chasing fullbacks, midfielders, doing a job for the team. But when you're playing in a 2, that's easy to do. One striker's tries to stay down the middle, and the other one's chasing and running around and helping the team. When you're up there on your own, predominantly you've got to be in the box and around the box and being a target up there, because if you're running down the flanks and crossing the ball, there's nobody in the box to get on the end of it. So I just try and tell him to try and stop being so honest and doing jobs, helping other people out, and try and stay down the middle and become more of a threat in the box.
And from what you've just said there, it looks like there's a lot of players who look up to you. I know James Gibbons does, because he put that picture on Twitter of the pair of you together as well, which is quite nice. But it must be nice to think that you've got to the point now where there are other people coming to you for advice about their career.
No, I think, especially with it being Port Vale as well, there's not so much the local lads like Gibbo. I mean, lads that, travel or don't know the area so well, where the best places to live. People ask, where's the best place to get an apartment or somewhere to live, where the best areas I can. So you're always there to give advice, more so about, like I say, the environment and the city of Stoke, really. Where's the best place to get some food or. But yeah, I mean, I've always tried. I'm the biggest moaner in the world, and half the lads will hate me 1 minute. But I like to keep people on their toes. It's a lot harder when you're not playing to try and tell people how to do their jobs. It's a lot more difficult to do that. When you're playing and you're out there with them and you're in the trenches with them, you feel like it's your kind of place to tell people what they're doing. I mean, like I say, on Saturday, after 20 minutes, I'd have probably been screaming at the midfield, get up the pitch. Because you could see that we were sitting deeper and deeper. So I know some of the young lads will say I'm good for advice and things like that. I also give them a kick up the backside when they need it as well. And I think you've got to do that if you want to be successful and have a good career. You need to be kept on your toes. You can't just playing in the game as long as I have and still going like a Leggy and Joycey. It's all about consistency and consistently going out there. And if you're playing 50 games a season, you've got to have 35, 40 good ones. And some of these young lads will have a good performance and then a couple of bad ones. And they're still living off the good performance that they've had. And that's something you can't take for granted. You've got to do it week in and week out. And that's what you try and do with the younger lads. You can't get carried. Gibbo's got the right attitude. His attitude's bang on, and you can tell by his performances, but there's also others that can become lazy or sloppy and lethargic and got no go in them, and you're trying to lift them so when the time comes that they are in the team and they are like young Ryan, you've got to be ready to grasp it and put in them consistent performances.
And David Amu talked about the importance of having a lot of the local lads in the team as well, and you being one of them, and Gibbo and one or two others. And he said it's nice that when you've got that atmosphere with some of the local boys in there, because as you say, they know the place, they know the fans, they know the supporters, and it helps new players bed in.
Yeah, they're all Stoke fans. that doesn't help me at all. No, I think when you've been at the club a long time, like Gibbo and Smudge, myself. You know what the fans are about anyway. As long as you work hard and graft and put a shift. Stoke's always been a working class city. People have always had to work hard for their money. And you can't just turn up at Vale Park and stroll around the pitch and the fans will tolerate it. You've got to put a shift in. That's the minimum that they ask. And I think sometimes, certainly with wingers like Dave Amu, they'll have games where they're at their brilliant best. And some days they just switch off and look like Monty. That's wingers for you. They've got flashes of brilliance and flashes of sloppiness in them every week. But there's been a feel-good factor, like I say. Dave's started the season brilliant. Monty was flying on Tuesday until he got injured. So hopefully he'll be back in contention on Saturday. I think everybody's been performing really well. I mean, like I say, against Grimsby, but everybody had an off day, so it isn't even though players can try and point fingers at other people. Everybody knew they had an off day, the same way everybody knew they were brilliant on the Tuesday. So it's just about getting back on track now. We've got an home game against Cambridge, and hopefully one we can get 3 points from. And
just to mention Cambridge, I know that you beat them here last year. That doesn't count for much, but they've got a player you'll know quite well in Mark Richards, who I know you talked about learning from players, and he's pretty much seen it and done it all.
Yeah, I mean, he's 36, 37 now, and he's still banging in goals. Rico's similar with me. He was never the quickest. He's just really such a strong lad. And his footballing brain's excellent, and he always sniffs out goals. He's always had that ability to do that. So age is just a number of players like Rico. Rico could probably still be scoring goals like Lee Hughes did till he's 40. He's still going to be one of them names that keeps popping up on the score sheet because he's a goal scorer, and certainly one we're going to have to keep an eye on Saturday. It's going to be a tough game, like you say. I know we beat him on the first game of last season, but I also remember getting done 5 at their place. So it's just another team that you can't just expect turn up and win and go through the motions. We've got to be at it from the first go off everybody to win a game of football.